This is Bia Labate again. I am from Scottsdale, Arizona, blogging from the Code Conference. This is a major mainstream media conference. It simply costs $7,000 to get in this conference. Yay!
Very exclusive.
We didn't pay because we're speakers. Yay! So we are in Arizona. You can see back there, they have a real cactus, big one. And this is an inhabitant from the region. And this is, this you can get a little bit the idea of the conference. So everything they film on stage and then they show it on another stage, and they have like tweets at the same time, and they have like music on stage. So it's really vibrant. It's very techy. It's a conference for tech people and venture capitalists, make business, talk about money, talk about technology, talk about the future, talk about privacy, ethics, how big companies are merging, and the future of all of that. And in the context of this conference, they had a panel on psychedelics. So psychedelics and cannabis. So it's interesting to see psychedelics entering into the main stage and to the mainstream. Well, it was not the main stage, it was a smaller room. We were part of a short presentation. Each one of us talked 10 minutes, and then we had a group discussion. That's the intensives that they present. And I spoke about ayahuasca, Sue spoke about cannabis. We had another person talking about CBD and another one about microdosing. So psychedelics are entering, the field of these big players, and it looks like it's coming here to stay. And I would like to make a little note about this particular aspect that has to do with cannabis. So let's hear from Sue, who's my friend, an expert on the topic. So nice that you're here, and thanks for agreeing to talking to us.
I'm thrilled to host you in sunny Arizona. We call this the Desert Oasis. It's only 110 degrees here today.
So tell me a little bit about who are you and what is your research about?
Sure. I'm an internal medicine doctor here in Scottsdale, and I do controlled trials looking at smoked cannabis flower, looking at it as a treatment for PTSD, for treating pain, and also looking at it as a potential substitution for opioid dependence.
Awesome. How long have you been doing this kind of research?
We started, MAPS and I began partnering over 10 years ago on this PTSD study with the military veterans. So that study was just completed this year, and we're in the middle of writing up the manuscript. But and I'd say, the next study we're doing is looking at late-stage cancer patients and trying to see if smoked cannabis flower improves their quality of life and helps treat their breakthrough pain. So, we've been at this for years, but, one of the things that has really surprised me is the fact that this monopoly, what we call the DEA mandated NIDA monopoly, it just means that basically the National Institute on Drug Abuse has enjoyed a government-enforced monopoly on the only federally legal supply of cannabis that we can use for any of these controlled trials. So every single controlled trial in the U.S. has been forced to buy this, kind of substandard cannabis material since 1968.
Wait, just a minute. If I'm getting this right, the DEA has a monopoly over the cannabis that can be used in scientific research. And if you want to do scientific research anywhere on the United States of America, you are obliged to buy cannabis from the DEA and from this one specific provider, and the cannabis is not good. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the problem with monopolies, that monopolies just breed apathy since they don't have any competition. Here's a perfect example. These guys don't strive to be better because they know that they don't have any competitors, and so they've been able to pump out this really low quality, but what I would say, it's moldy and diluted with stems, sticks, leaves, so it really sabotages your result when you're trying to study the efficacy of smoked cannabis flower. How effective is cannabis flower flower at treating pain or treating inflammatory bowel disease or whatever, and then your results are harmed by this low quality material. It's like garbage in, garbage out. What would you expect from smoking this low quality plant material?
So okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, we'll continue our live interview as we can. Let's just continue here. Maybe I'll find a new volunteer. So, would you mind holding this camera for us a little bit? Okay, people. Well, we're gonna have to cut short our interview. I'm afraid I got the security guard in problems. The point is, and cannabis monopoly by the DEA, and keep on tuned, keep on blogging, and we're gonna keep on keeping you informed. Thanks for your research and your work and your activism, Sue.
Absolutely thrilled to have you guys. Welcome to Arizona.
Big hug from Bia and Sue.